entity that's reporting that trade line to the credit reporting agency. And then the bureaus are just the credit reporting agencies. And then for what claims, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, there's EB and I claims against the credit reporting agencies and S2B claims against the furnishers. And it's really important, again, another distinction is credit reporting as a form of debt collection. The case law is kind of split on this, but for the most part, credit reporting is a debt collection activity. So if a debt collector is reporting to the credit reporting agency, then they have an obligation to report the debt or the debt accurately to the credit reporting agency. And actually, if they're reporting it inaccurately to the credit reporting agency, it may possibly be an automatic violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. But again, this is an area of law that is evolving and also very complex. And so I don't want to necessarily, automatically assume that something will be a violation, but it may be a violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act if a debt collector is reporting an inaccurate balance on a credit report. And so that wraps up for most of my presentation. And I now have here again my information. My name is Subhan Tariq. I am the lawyer for consumers on Instagram. And here is my email and my office phone number. And I'm licensed in New York and New Jersey. We help consumers all around the country, but we're licensed in New York and New Jersey in the sense that we take cases here anytime there's a consumer outside of New York and New Jersey. We work with local counsel in their states. We work with local attorneys in their states, and we, co-counsel with them, or we'll mentor with them, or depending on if they're a colleague. If they already understand this area of law, again, as I've mentioned throughout this presentation, the area of law is kind of complex, and it's, there are a lot of books, as you can see, kind of behind me. And so it's really important to send a case or to understand what you're doing with the Fair Credit Reporting Act when you first get a case to your door. If you make mistakes early on, then the likelihood of being able to recover is very low. And so as people have questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. I will be around for a while in the chat to answer questions. Again, here is my email and phone number. If you have any particular questions about any particular accounts, you first need to send me these items that I had asked in my pre-due diligence packet, all right, for me to analyze whether or not you're going to have a great case. And that is, the credit reports, the dispute letters, the denials, if they have any, the dispute responses, and set really clear expectations early on. If you have any particular situations with issues or with a particular client, it's best to send them privately so that you're not exposing everyone, people's things to everyone else. And we're glad to help. We, my assistant Carlos is also on here. My paralegal Carlos is on here. Carlos, if you can just unmute yourself and show your video so people can kind of see you as well. Hopefully your video is working. There we go. Here's Carlos, my paralegal.
Hello?
Hey, Carlos, you can hear?
Wait, hi everybody.
Okay, so hopefully everyone has had a great, has enjoyed the presentation. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Hopefully we will be able to talk to everyone soon. Actually, here's a question. Usually the suit is brought against multiple furnishers or creditors. What are the typical settlements for each defendant? It really depends, Jonathan, about what stage of litigation you're at, and what type of violation you're facing. If you're in the industry and you're just want to chat, feel free to shoot me an email. I'd love to chat with you after. We could talk about typical ranges of what we're used to settling for. I will note that we never settle on a global basis. We always settle with each individual furnisher or creditor, so that to maximize the dollar amount on a case. And so hopefully, people, if anyone else has any questions, I'm going to just turn off the recording now, and then we'll stick around for a little bit more if you have questions, and then we'll hopefully leave in about 10 minutes or so. So take care, everyone, and just stop the recording now.